Hi everyone, my name's Vicky and I'm one of the chaplains in schools in Nottingham.
And my name's Izzy and I'm also one of the chaplains in Nottingham. Now you'll all be aware of the current situation with the coronavirus kind of spreading around, and the Bishops' Conference of England and Wales have kind of issued a few ideas and things that we could do to make ourselves just kind of more comfortable in Mass and kind of happy that things are not kind of spreading and things like that. So from now on, when you go to church, you'll notice a few differences in Mass. Some things are a little bit different, and so also when you go to Mass at school, these things will be different too then.
Yeah, that's it. These differences will be reflected in your school Mass. So we thought it was just a good idea to get together, let you know what these differences would be and perhaps what you could put in place instead. So one of the first differences would be certainly that you will receive communion under one kind. That is to say that you won't receive the blood of Christ at Mass, for the time being anyway, so you won't receive from the chalice. Obviously this is to stop any form of spread of virus, so that would be the first change really.
The second change is, so obviously we're then only receiving the body of Christ instead of the blood, and some people normally might receive this on the tongue, okay, instead of receiving it in their hands. And so they've asked that actually, if you normally receive the body of Christ on the tongue, that for the time being you just receive it in your hands instead, just to kind of make everybody feel a little bit more comfortable.
That's it, and the final difference, which was one that really got to us, didn't it?
Yeah, we were, yeah.
One of the beautiful things in Mass is obviously receiving the Eucharist and being in communion with Christ, but also being in the communion with each other and receiving the sign of peace from people within your community. The Church has asked that we no longer receive the sign of peace by shaking the hands. So we're luckily in Briars together, aren't we, this week? So we've tried to get our heads together and we thought of a couple of things that perhaps that we could do in order to make sure that we still have this really important element of Mass. So we've had a couple of ideas, didn't we?
Yeah.
First one was the toe tap.
Yeah, the toe tap.
That was it, yeah.
That was a classic, yeah.
So we thought maybe that's not the best idea.
Yeah,
and then Father Jonathan came up and actually supported one of the ideas that Izzy had said during the week. And so we're going to share this idea with you now. I'm going to pass over to Izzy. She'll explain it to you.
Okay, cool. So, well, we thought the sign of peace is, first and foremost, a sign. And what better way to kind of show a sign than through sign language? So we're going to use, show you the sign language for peace be with you or peace with you. And that's what we're hoping you guys might use instead. It looks something like this. It looks something like peace be with you. Okay, that's kind of the general gist of it. Now, the way it works is like this. So you put your hands like that. Make sure your fingers are up, because if they're down, you'd be saying like baked beans or something like that. So up, and it says peace. And what we do is we move out, we go peace, and then we go be with, and we kind of put our two hands together, one in front of the other like that, and then we go you. And we'll point at that person, okay? So if I was saying it to Vicky, I'd say, Vicky, peace be with you.
Thank you, Izzy. And I would return by saying, Izzy, peace be with you.
And just like that, we've shared the sign of peace together without having to touch hands, but still we can feel that love of being part of a community.
Yeah, that's it. And I suppose the last thing we want to say to you is, if any of you do have any worries or any additional questions about why these changes have taken place in Mass, how long are they going to be in place for, or just any general questions about what's taking place, always seek out your chaplain. They will be more than happy to sit down with you and go through all of these, or your RE teachers, or indeed any of your other teachers. So please don't sit in silence and worry about what's taking place, worry about why it's happening. We'll happily sit down and discuss it with you further. But for now, I think we will leave you by saying, peace be with you.